Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Aparna Sood, and welcome to TBC You and Me. I'm a project manager professionally studying psychology and learning more about beautiful aspects of life. In today's episode, our focus will be on understanding what is the meaning of word mindfulness, why it is important for humankind, why it is one of the most talked about topic in the world. We need some answers here, right? So, by the end of this episode, I am sure you will take away the reasons for why you should involve mindfulness in your daily routine and how you can do that. So, let us try to answer mindfulness what, why, and how. Mindfulness is generally defined as for you to be in the moment and nowhere else. Have you seen the movie Peaceful Warrior? It is a good watch. If not, try today. It is based on a true story of Dan Millman. It tried to answer these three questions. First, where are you? The answer is here. Second, what time is it? The answer is now. And third, who are you? And the answer is this moment. If you think about it, it feels like those quotes that you read regularly on Instagram handles and FB handles. But when you are in the flow in that movie, it gives you goosebumps. Trust me, nothing above and beyond. That's it. Here, now, this moment. Wow. Now, if it is so easy, why are we struggling in joining classes and training sessions to learn how to be mindful, be conscious, and concentrate in here and now? I remember when I was in school and I was told to read the chapters thoroughly before exams. After reading 3 pages, I won't really remember what was on the first page until I focused, made notes, and going through them again and again. So basically, when I look back, I was told to concentrate, but no one actually told me how. But when I look back and see how I was able to understand, and actually I still remember what I learned in school, was because I was focusing on it, practicing it. Practice shapes your brain. Human brain has taken ages to develop this mental capacity where you can think 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day, which of course 90% are the repeated ones. God, when you think about it, it already makes you feel exhausted. Sam Chase, who teaches meditation for living and study the science of conscious attention, discussed that our brain gets 11 million bits of information every second. Just imagine its capacity and capability. Simply wow. Ages and ages of evolution and development to reach this capacity, and now we are struggling to give it up because we are incapable of handling it. Some people misinterpret this giving up attitude as mindfulness, that we don't have these many thoughts and information bits. That is called mindfulness. I definitely disagree. So, let us dig deeper. We are the creatures with vivid mindsets. We can achieve anything we want, but because today we are not taught how to handle these thoughts, how to be aware of what's happening in your head, we just want to give it up and say, oh, I am mindful now. No. Mindfulness is to have control of your thoughts, what thoughts to be generated at what time and in what direction, so as to create appropriate hormones and memories for the body and brain, respectively. We are fighting for peace. However, the approach should be to be peaceful. I remember reading somewhere about Mother Teresa that don't tell people to use nonviolence because even then you have a component of violence in your approach. Tell them to use kindness, love, and compassion. Focus on things you want, not what you don't want. It is very deep if you think about it, and you'll definitely find examples of it in your day to day life. When we are wishing, like, I wish I don't miss the bus, we are not thinking, I wish I catch the bus. When we think, I wish my boss doesn't lash out at me. Why not to think, I wish my boss is at calm today? Conscious in choosing the words you invest in. It's very important. Very simple example of why you need to be mindful and be in charge of your brain in day to day life. If someone is upset with us, we'll say, whatever, he's just like that. And your brain will obey. If someone did wrong to you, you'll say, I'm never going to forgive. Your brain obeys. And when it is obeying, it is creating hormones in your body, generally negative hormones, and shaping your brain to respond with such reactions every time something occurs like that. You are choosing to be miserable. Weird, isn't it? Who wants to be miserable? Everyone wants to be happy. But we are not choosing to be happy. Now, if you practice consciously that if the person has said something wrong, it's okay. It's not my doing, it is his. If society is pulling you down, it is okay. It is not my doing, it is them. And move on and have a good vibe for these people that I wish they learn compassion in life. Tell yourself you know better. You can wire your brain by practicing this thought again and again. And next time, your brain will automatically have these responses. Last week, I was a guest speaker to undergrad business students, and I was asked that people are going in depression. People have negative comments from people around them, from family, from peers, from friends, from so many sources. How to deal with that? It's a very good question, isn't it? So let us dig deeper. Yes, people are getting depressed. They are facing serious mental health issues. Can they deal with it? Is there a solution? Can mindfulness help? Well, the answer is yes to each one of them. Mindfulness has shown results in various studies, so there is evidence that it helps you shape your brain. Dr. Richard Davidson, who is a psychologist and neuroscientist, he talks about how people have different level of vulnerabilities. Some might be very emotional, others might not be that emotional. This is actually very interesting, and you can find examples around you. A situation might invoke panic in you and not in your friend standing by your side. Why a heartbreak will leave you depressed for months, whereas your friend might not give a nudge about it. Does it mean there is different mental capacity, different emotional capacity in every individual? Maybe. If you have heard of the term neuroplasticity, you will understand how your brain is growing every single day. So, if it is growing, can we change our mental capacity? Can we take more responsibility of our brain? Um, I think yes, we can. A research found that an average American adult doesn't pay attention to what they are doing about 47% times. Just imagine such a waste. When you're not paying attention, there is a chance your mind is not happy. Of course, you're unaware that what's happening. How can you be happy? Then, 76% of middle aged Americans report loneliness. This brings early mortality, much earlier than obesity, to be honest. Loneliness can make you sick inside out. People generally just pass statements when someone tells them they are lonely. The suggestions that they just give out is, oh, come on, go out, go for parties, make more friends. Problem is, most of the loneliness cases will come from those who have bigger circles and a great social life. Sounds weird? Well, it shouldn't, because so many people are trying to distract themselves from what they are feeling by getting distracted by going out and just spending their time with people where they actually do not belong. Think about it, it's really deep. Dr. Davidson talks about 4 challenges that comes in when you're trying to control your brain. First is distractibility. Not a surprise, of course. When you're trying to control your brain, you just wander here and there. There are so many thoughts in your head. Second is loneliness. You just get trapped with it. Third is negative self talk and depression. Whenever you're trying to take control of your life, you just think you're not worth it. You can't do it. It's not meant for you. It's very casual and usual. It just comes to your head. And the fourth thing is loss of meaning and purpose in life. So many people, they cannot find a reason to live. Like, why should we live? What's the reason? What for? So many people just commit suicide for this reason because they cannot find a meaning. I always ask myself and ask others, are you just here to run in a cycle? A cycle like you take education, get a job, earn for your survival, maybe have some fun with the money you earn. Then you retire and finally you die. This is how maximum people out there live. Think about it, isn't it? When did you actually lived? When 47% of your life you were distracted, you didn't even know what you did and why, just followed what society told you and what you saw around. So the point is, the question is, how to make a healthy mind. One, build your awareness. Then you have to build the connection. Then insight. And finally, get a purpose. Let's try to have a bit of explanation on them. Awareness inside of your brain and outside, not just reading the newspaper and just having updates on the government policies. Awareness on your feelings, awareness on your emotions and your outer circle, what's happening. Like right now, is your brain wandering around or you're just listening? I'm not surprised if it wandered. We all are the same, aren't we? Second is connection. Connect with your inter and intra worlds. What is happening inside? What are you facing outside? Then be insightful of what you think of yourself. There are people who are always like having negative thoughts about themselves, and they're just using the cliche statements like, I'm not happy. I'm not okay to be here. I cannot be here. I am not worth it. I am doomed. Your brain obeys and tells you, all right, if you say so. So tell yourself what you want to be, not what this world has inflicted upon you. For that, you need to be mindful and be in the moment. Know what you're saying to yourself. Be the in charge. We all have trained our minds to be distracted. We train it 16 hours a day, maybe more than that for some people, for your entire lives. You're distracted all the time, aren't you? Well, rest of the time you're sleeping. So it is brilliantly trained to be distracted. Now it is the time to give it another training. Of course, your mind will resist and give you same old answers every time you try to change. That's okay. You keep telling it your new answers consciously. I am the best. I deserve it. And I can do it. And your brain might tell you again, oh no, you're not. But you again force it to understand, I can and I will. Neuroplasticity has shown how practicing can change the behavior of your responses from your brain. Like brushing is a learned behavior. You were not born with it. Dressing up is a learned behavior. Everyone in the world with different cultures, different countries, they dress differently according to how they have learned it. But now it's a routine. So be mindful and make focus your routine. It can be learned by your brain and then be deeply ingrained in your behavior. Dr. Shona Shapiro, who is a professor and scientist, she spent some time learning meditation and mindfulness in a monastery, and she realized that the effects are real. All the humans are trying to reach some unrealistic standards of perfection and then get disappointed when they don't just get it, they don't reach it. So the point here is they're actually practicing not mindfulness, they're practicing disappointment. And it becomes a routine for them. Then it happens automatically, they are always disappointed, and finally they give up. I have met many people who believe that be hard on yourself if you want to achieve something. Strange. I just think, are you a donkey who needs to follow a carrot and stick approach? Be kind to yourself. Wire your brain with positivity, compassion, and kindness. I always envision a bubble around me that is filled with love, compassion, and kindness. Whenever I'm going out to a new place or I'm nervous, I envision a shield around me, a transparent covering filled with so much energy that no negative energy can cut through it. And it works because I have a weird feeling in my head that it's true. I have wired my brain to envision it and believe in it. When I instruct my brain with these thoughts and I am mindful what I am choosing, my brain kicks in positive emotions that reflects in my words, my movements, and my body. But the only point is, in order to be mindful, you have to be willing to get there. Because if you are not willing and you're just doing it because somebody tells you you have to be mindful, you will never reach there. You have to mean it when you do it. In 2014, a study was done where people were left alone in an empty room for 15 minutes. And when they were asked what they felt, they reported a feeling of boredom and unpleasant feelings. In the second phase of the same experiment, the participants were given an electric shock. And then they were sent in the room to sit alone for 15 minutes. But this time, they were told that there is a option for them to escape earlier. There was a button on the table that they can press, which will reduce their time but give them another electric shock. Now, if you think you'll just sit there, don't you? Like just sit there for 15 minutes. I don't want another shock. But 25% of the women and 66% of the men pushed that button at least once. Shocking. One guy pushed it 190 times in that 15 minutes. This is so weird and so painful to say that we cannot sit alone for merely 15 minutes. I guess sometimes because your thoughts are so painful than the actual pain coming from the shocks. Really disturbing, isn't it? So much pain outside in the world. So what to do? Can mindfulness change things? Let's think about it. Today, you sit in your garden or your room or somewhere outside alone with nothing around you, nothing at all. Just sit straight, look at nothing, think nothing, just be there. Can you do that? Well, give it a try and see how uncomfortable you get. And if you cannot sit there comfortably for 15 minutes, we definitely need to dig deeper into why we need mindfulness in our lives. Mindfulness is to be in the moment. Increase your focus, increase your consciousness, your concentration. The problem is how? The simple thing is every morning before you start your day, do meditation, maybe just for 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. This might sound easy, but when we sit still, close our eyes, your mind will start to wander. Maybe it's what you're gonna do today, or what happened yesterday, or what's your plan for the day, what the other person is going to say. So many things. Your mind will keep jumping from one thought to another. But if it happens, just bring it back. The moment it tries to wander, tell yourself, no, no, come back. Again and again, come back. 3 minutes, just 3 minutes. Practice it. You need to practice every day in the morning, 3 minutes for yourself. The best way to do it is focus on your breathing pattern. Focus when you inhale and focus when you exhale. A deep inhale and a deep exhale. Focusing on the movement in your body when you do it. It will help you focus just in the moment and not on your thoughts. Try it. The next best thing to practice mindfulness is with your food. Savor each bite of it. Enjoy it. Just focus on your food. That's it. Nothing around you, not on the television, not on your friends, not on your phone. Just on the food. Look at the colors. Look at the flavors. enjoy them, just feel them, just get lost in the food. Well, I love food, so it makes sense when I talk about food, isn't it? But the most important thing is, most of us are working all the time. Most of our time we are working. And when we are working in the same workplace, the same work routine every day, we get lost in it. We work like machines most of the time because we know the drill. We just follow it like machines, like robots. So, today onwards, whenever you find yourself like working in like a machine in a flow and just lost in it, lost your consciousness, stop right there. Take a break. Inhale, exhale, focus. Just focus and again go back to your work. Start doing these small things and you will be understanding that you're getting more conscious. You're getting more mindful. You know what's happening around you. You're just not following a routine day by day. It is so interesting and funny at the same time. Earlier this week, I was sitting in cafeteria with my friend and we were having a lunch. And apparently, her phone's battery was dead and she actually touched the home button of the phone 4 times. And I asked her why, and the reason was like she wasn't looking for any important emails or anything like that. It's a habit. She cannot sit idle. She has to keep doing something. She has wired her brain like that that she cannot stop. She cannot sit like that. She just forgot about it and she's constantly pressing it even when she knows the phone cannot turn on. Practice. You're actually getting victim and becoming a slave to the technology, whereas it should be your slave. You should be the masters. Today, turn off your phone for some time and see if you get uncomfortable. Or when you hear a beeping noise from your phone, if there is a notification or a message, try to resist from going and picking up your phone and looking at that. Resist the urge. See how uncomfortable you get. Try to do it again and again, again and again. So you take the control in your hands and the technology doesn't play you. You play with it. So practice these little things today and share your experience with me by using the form on our website, that is truth-bliss-consciousness.webador.co.uk. Or when you practice them and you want to share with me and talk about it with me, you can email me personally on our email ID, that is truth.bliss.consciousness@gmail.com. As I always say, let us speak together and grow together.